Yeah, like, hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of This is Tech Talks, and I'm Santosh with my co-host Jay this time. So last time it was Frank. Lars is not able to join today, so probably we'll see him next time. But AJ, welcome back.
Thank you. It's great to be back. Although I was at NG Conf, so that was super fun.
Uh,
Hopefully I'll see you there next year, Santosh.
I mean, let's hope. I mean, let's hope US gives me visa first, right?
Yeah, it was.
Let's see. But Jay, are you planning to come to NX Conf?
I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it for NX Conf because that's the week that I'm away visiting family for Canadian Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay,
So
cool, cool.
I'm already flying, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to fly down to Arizona for a single day. It's kind of a ways away for me.
Sounds good. So,
Yeah.
welcome back. Welcome Akash and Yogini. Thanks for joining us. And I wanted to have this from a long time, but thanks again for uh, joining us here.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for inviting. It's always fun to talk to you
Yeah,
and have conversations.
and it's been quite a long time that we are seeing Santosh live.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I look nice or I look
You
sad?
look happy, you look fabulous.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
lost weight. I have lost weight. I mean, thanks. This is fun part because I lost more than 3 kgs, and then I got a roommate. He came. He was from Kerala, and he used to make good food. I recovered. I mean, I gained like 1.5 kgs till the time he was here. Now he's gone. So let's see. But yeah, he was good cook.
Amazing.
Anyways,
I hope your
so
cooking skills are much improved now.
little bit because I was seeing him how to cook. So now I know that I was missing the most important part of making food, which is
Hmm.
water. I always used to think it's spices, but it is not. I mean, I never used to add water, and I was like, this guy adds a lot of water. So okay, this is this is the key. So yeah, now I know more dishes to cook because I know how to add water and how much water needs to be added.
Nice,
Water
nice.
is kind of
Amazing.
like the basis for a lot of things in our world. It helps a
Actually,
lot.
I mean, I used to make like scrambled eggs, and I never used to add water. I was like, even when I tried to make pasta, I never used to add water. And then I realized that okay, this was something which was missing. That's why I'm losing weight.
How were you cooking pasta without water?
Exactly my question.
Just
You're just trying to fry the pasta and
I'm
then
so
something
confused.
like that.
yeah, I just used to boil it and then add it in the vegetables. Generally, vegetable needs to be boiled as well, right? I mean, you need to add some water there.
Yes.
But yeah, I learned it. I learned it. So, but cool.
Proud of you.
How are
So
you both,
proud.
Yogini and Akash?
We're
Oh,
good.
How's the day? How was your day?
We're
Akash, you want
good.
to
I
go?
mean, yeah, yeah. Doing good. It is like Ganeshotsav, it's Pune, and you know how the vibe is for the 10 days. So that is all happening.
Yeah.
We went to our hometown after almost a year.
Mhm.
Yeah, because we both were so busy in working. So our parents visited few times, but we haven't seen our hometown for a very, very long time. This is the first time we haven't been to home for around 10 months, which is very long.
yeah.
But yeah,
Nice, nice,
now all good, refreshed, back to work.
nice, nice. Cool. Uh, over to you, Jay. Would you want to ask
Great.
questions? Yeah.
Yeah. So to get it all started, because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't do any research for this whatsoever. So I don't even know what Peerlist does. So like what is Peerlist? What what do you do?
So
Either
yeah,
one.
in one sentence, the story behind is more interesting, and that will set a good context. So it started during the lockdown, the second wave. We were just like in the first wave, we all were following all the online trends, Dalgona coffee and whatnot, cooking and everything. We did all those, followed all those hashtags and all. Um, and we thought, okay, it will go away and everything will be normal. But then the second wave came in and it was disaster. And we realized no, we need to be shit serious about things, and whatever we are doing we have to utilize the time which we have, extra time which we have to our disposal, to use it better. So we just started getting engaged with the community on Twitter, on other platforms. Yogini was absolutely like hyperactive on writing articles and publishing it on different platforms. And same with me. We At the same time there was another wave of resignations and finding new jobs, and that was happening, and it happened to us as well. We realized that okay, let's sit back, zoom out, and think that can we should switch our jobs, and we got into that process. But while doing that, we realized that whatever we are doing apart from our 9 to 5 jobs, which is our personal branding, writing articles, doing side projects, all of that are living in silos, and that is not able to come up in front of the recruiters or the hiring managers. We have to take a lot of efforts to that, and all the other like LinkedIn profile and all those things were not helping. The last option was building your own portfolio with Webflow or any other platform. As developer, Yogini's developer, what we say, attitude will come in that I won't use those things. I will just but obviously she was not getting time to do that because of a lot of coding assignments and all those things, and we thought there should be a very easy way to do this. So we just sent out a survey, like 5 6 questions to around 300 people, and we got amazing response, and we realized that there are so many problems which we can solve in this space. And that's how we just started with a very small basic work profile thing where you can integrate all your work from different platforms on a single page. For example, from GitHub, you can showcase your repositories, contributions, dribble integration, and all those things. And that's how it all started. A single, most powerful and meaningful, robust work profile, which can accumulate all your work across the internet on a single place. And that's how Peerlist started a year ago. As Santosh have seen our journey like since beginning, because we used to ask him questions as a user. Uh, Now we have evolved a lot. We become on a verge to become a professional network for people in tech, and that is what our broader vision is. And that is where we are.
Awesome. That's great. I mean, fair. I'm not surprised something like this came out of the lockdowns and the pandemic and all that kind of stuff, right? Because you're right. It was hard there for a couple of years. And I'm really
Yeah,
excited to see a platform that allows people to show what they've done. And this kind of segues into my next question quite a bit, because we've already talked about how, the idea came about. I'm assuming you guys had this idea, then you got these great responses, and you're like, maybe there's a company here. Let's start a company around it, kind of thing, right? And that's just kind of how the startup journey happened. But it seems like one of your big value props for why someone should use Peerlist is the whole proof of work side of it, right?
exactly. Yeah.
So why is proof of work so important in today's era of work from home, remote jobs, the more the internationalization of companies, stuff like that?
I
So I think
guess I can answer this better. I know. Sorry, Akash. But I guess proof of work stands very important in my personal life because I used to teach students before I started working as a developer. So when I was trying to be a developer, I was giving interviews. That time, nobody actually believed that I can code, I can build stuff if it was not my proof of work. So if I can switch my roles based on that proof of work, I think anybody can do anything if they can showcase what they are able to do. So seeing that value, I guess, was the starting point for us that yes, we can build a product around proof of work, and that should be there for everybody. So yeah.
Yes. So just to
Yeah.
chip in, one question. I mean, of course, we discussed about how the idea came in, and then you, of course, started a company. But how you approach the like investors, right? I mean, okay, we have this concept, and probably there are a few more platforms like those. So how did you approach the investors, and you convince them to actually support your work?
So I think again, proof of work. We built in public, and we were building in public, and we were talking to many people, and people were. Uh, we are like glad and I would say lucky enough to have a very strong and supportive community around Peerlist. Even before writing a single line of code, we had a really good audience and community supporting what we are building and what we were trying to do or trying to build. So that helped. And because we were out there and talking about Peerlist, people were talking about it. Obviously, we got the eyeballs from these really amazing investors and really big people uh, who wanted to talk to us, who by themselves DM'd us. Even we had no courage to even DM them, and we there is like very low probability that they will reply us back if we were not doing this. But because of Peerless, we got their attention, and they came to us and talked to us and how we built and asked questions, and because they were seeing our journey for a very long time, uh, they realized that okay, we are consistent, and they saw some conviction in the idea as well and the way we were building it. So yeah, I think those were the things I believe. So again, like our proof of work was we were building Peerless in public and growing it. So yeah.
And Santosh, when we are a first, because we were a first time founders, it
Mhm.
was really difficult initially to convince people that yes, we have the courage to do things. So I think the community side of it, or the people talking about Peerlist, helped us a lot to give that conviction to other folks, that to believe in us. So again, proof of work coming in picture and playing a good role for
Yeah.
us.
So basically, we were the freshers, right? We were first time founders. We were the freshers into the startup journey. So proof of work helped us to get those things done. Yeah.
Over to you, Jay.
Awesome. That's really interesting. So on this proof of work side of it, again, we talked about how important it is. How you guys are proving your own work to build a platform for proof of work, right? But what suggestions do you have for people for building their proof, right? Like, how do they go about building their proof of work profile, and like what kind of high value work is there? What kind of work is going to get them noticed or get them a job or get them the next step in whatever it is that they're working towards? Because just like building to do apps and like writing some HTML that renders a hello, like that's not valuable, even though it is technically like proof because you are doing something, but it doesn't mean you're doing anything valuable, right? So like, what kind of feedback do you have for people trying to build that profile out?
So I think there are two things. A context would be one is creating a profile and one is building a profile. Creating profile takes 2 minutes, building a profile takes 2 years, 3 years, or we don't know how much, right? So that is what Peerlist helps you to build a profile. When we say it is just not a portfolio or something like that, with your why we have that GitHub contribution graph, right? It shows that you have done something over a period of time consistently. Same with on Peerless profile, you can actually see that okay, Santosh is uploading really nice videos on YouTube very consistently throughout like last 3 or 4 years. He's writing articles consistently every month uh, for a year, and that is what more important, right? I can build any side project, even if I'm a designer. I can build a really cool side project, and people will take it as a proof of work, but that is not there. And even the hiring managers don't take it from the face value. They actually see beyond that, like how consistent this person is, how what kind of a problem or approach that person took while solving those or creating those proof of work. So I think that is where those are the very strong signals which your peerless profile gives you, and that is where our focus is, not just building a portfolio, but building a complete your work profile or your work life on a single page. So that is what we're trying to do.
Awesome. Yeah, that's
You,
really good. Go ahead, Sanjay.
Yogini, you want to add anything? I mean, of course, I know you have a lot of to share on this.
Yeah, so actually what when the idea of Peerlist came in, we did not wanted to add one more platform to maintain for anybody, because there are already, like, even if you take as a developer, you have so many platforms out there that you already need to maintain. So our thought process was just to streamline them in one single thing, where you just open it and you see the visuals of everybody, or the gist of everybody, every platform on a single page. So whenever you share links, there is very high chances that someone will miss some important links. So how we can visualize all of that for them, and have a page where you can see everything all together. So that was the original thought process behind, not to add one more platform, but streamline all other things.
I think Sunny has some feedbacks. Yeah, good feedbacks.
That's
Cool.
awesome.
Thanks. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think there's one very important point which Akash mentioned, that building a proof of work takes time. Nowadays, I mean, this is something out of context. It just clicked my mind that nowadays, actually, people have lost patience, right? So they just want, like, okay, in 1 month, 2 months, I want to become this, become that, but that's not the reality. And I think this platform, the peer list, I can see you can actually do your work, add everything on a single place, and you can also actually see how much you are improving personally, or how much work you have done, rather than just guessing that, okay, I'm doing a lot of things, but
Yeah.
what is there in public? Yeah, right. So this is really great. I think, yeah. Cool. Yeah, Jay,
Yeah,
good.
I think people used to say, right, show but don't tell, but this is not the case right now, right? Do things, show things, and talk about it, tell about it to the world. Just go and expose, like, whatever work you have done. Just
Yeah.
go and shout about it. That helps a lot, and that is where we want to help people to combine all of that work, and your peerless profile will shout about yourself that, okay, this is what I have done, and this is what my work is, and this is how I built my proof of work. So yeah.
Yeah, that's it's so true. So with we talked a little bit about working from home and remote work and this whole, like, companies can hire from wherever now. How has the hiring process changed over the years? And what would you like? What would you suggest people to do to be able to get hired? Right, like I see on your website, I'm looking at it right now. There's a side for individuals and then a side for recruiters. Like, what are the recruiters? Like, what values can the individuals provide within their profiles, whether it be on Peerlist or on one of the connecting services, that the recruiters would notice and then reach out to them for a job?
So I think there are many signals which we share with the recruiters from your profile. So there are two things. One is you apply, and then we share those signals, and then there is second one which is outbound from the recruiter side, where they go and check your profiles based on the requirements they have or they think that is interesting. And our job as a Peerless, as a company, is to help your profile to transmit as many strong signals as possible. So basically, we cannot generate those signals for you, but we can at least amplify those signals for you. By that, what I mean is you have to put your work, you have to do and build your proof of work, and then we can help you to amplify that and make sure that your work is reaching to the appropriate people or the correct recruiters, and that is what Peerless will be doing with Peerless Hire. So yeah.
And I think to add on that, so recently, while building Peerlist and while building the recruiter side of it, or the hiring side of it, we realized that verification is a very big problem. because I can add anything on any of my profile that I work here and there. Plus, one recent and live example that we got acquainted with was, because it's a remote work culture and all the interview processes is remote as well. There was a guy who gave interview. The person who gave interview was a different one, and the person who actually joined the company was a different one. So, and this happened with a very close friend of us. So we know that this is not fake, and this is a real world problem that we might be dealing with. So how we can solve that problem in the hiring side as well, because this is very important for a candidate side and for the company perspective. So how we can do that. So all of these were the things we kept in mind while we are building the higher side of Peerlist.
That's a very good point. And honestly, I never even considered that that would be a problem, but I guess it makes perfect sense. I remember hearing stories years ago of people like subcontracting their job out to others in other companies and then them just like playing video games all day. It's like that's
Even
like this is the new age of that.
Yeah.
I remember.
I mean,
Yes,
yeah, go ahead.
No,
No, I
I
mean
just wanted. Yeah.
that is fine. I mean, if the work is getting done, that is all good for the company. But in case like there are two things like two problems here. One from the company side where they have lost a lot of money, time, and energy on hiring, and then there is second problem that someone who is really deserved that opportunity lost it because of that. So we have to think about both of the things. We might not think or we might not understand the magnitude of that problem until and till the moment it don't happen to us, right? But it's a very big thing that someone who is very needy and need that opportunity losing it just because of that, and that's not good. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I have similar stories to share. I mean, so when I was working like early 2011, I was working for a bank, and I will not name the bank. So, anyways, but I had few friends. I will also not name them, but they what they used to do is they used to give the interview for each other. So like, okay, so you are right now you are really hands on. So give my interview, and they used to actually give the telephonic interview, and a lot of people actually got the job. So I used to think, I mean, how does it make sense? I mean, if this is cheating, right? I mean, if you go
Yeah.
to work and you won't be able to do it, then you are just cheating the organization. But that's the reality.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
It's a very hard problem to solve, and with the change in the work culture and hiring scenes shifting a lot, we have started facing more and more of this problem than we used to face earlier.
Good. Yeah, it's true.
Makes sense. I don't even know how someone would be able to like I would never even think about doing that. Not only
That's huge. Eh?
ethical and
Not at
moral
this.
point, I just wouldn't have even considered that to be a possibility.
yeah.
Like it wouldn't even cross my brain to be like that is a thing that I could do.
Yeah.
Wild.
But that's happening. That's
Yeah.
happening because we recently talked to many recruiters and they have told us many horror stories which happened to them. And we were like, okay. So we never realized because we were on the other side of
Hmm.
this whole process as a candidates, and we never understood that these kind of problems are happening. And yeah, so there are many horror stories.
Crazy. Okay, so on the like the recruiter topic, how so like applying for jobs versus getting approached for jobs, how would you to suggest that someone that's looking for whether it be their first job or to move jobs or whatever it might be, how would you suggest for them to be approached by a recruiter? Because applying for jobs, especially at some companies, can be pretty exhausting where you have to like fill out all this information that's also already on your resume and you have to re-enter it all, and then there's like a 9-step interview process and you might not get it at the 8th step, and like all it's so much work, right? How would you to suggest to be noticed by recruiters and get approached rather than having to go out and seek them?
I guess so. One thing which I have totally believed on was is always the referral thing. there is a recruiter, there is a candidate, and there are people who are working in in that company. And I guess if you know them personally, or if you can ask them for recommendation, that helps really a lot for the recruiter to understand that yes, this is a legit person, or a legit candidate to think about. And even for the candidate to skip that one line and move ahead and be serious for that job process. So I have always, even for Peerlist, we straight away talk to people who are acquaintance, or who are friends of friends, because we prefer them, that if we know them personally, then it will be very easy for us to help to work with. So that is always in my mind. But yeah, I mean, Akash, you want to add something in that?
Yeah, I mean, there are two stages. One is early stage and one is later stage. I don't think Jay or Santosh have to go to the job boards and apply for the jobs, right? That is not the case for you. But when you are at a very early stage, like 0 to like 3 years or 4 years, there is a completely different approach of finding opportunities, which is going to all these different job portals and apply to those jobs. But then there is something called as ATS, which filters you out right, left, and center, right? So how you going to tackle that? So there are mixed approach, I would say a hybrid approach, which is concentrate on, let's say, 20 companies, put all your energy in understanding how those companies work. Can you find any referral or someone works in that company, understand that company better? Maybe cold email the hiring manager rather than the recruiter. Showcase your work that, hey, I just came across this opportunity that you are hiring for, and this is what I have done so far, and these are the skill sets which match with your job description. So, what do you think about this? And I think you have multiplied your chances of getting an interview at least. So that is the most difficult part. 90%, 95% of the candidates just get filtered out before even getting like talking to the recruiter. And obviously the company is also losing that very good number of candidates because of that. But they have to do it because there are 2,000 applicants coming in for a single job post. So yeah, so I think there are two approach. One is like when you are early, go out there, hustle out, and get that job doing better research and understanding the company. Then after like 5 6 years of experience, I know very well that you have built your profile or your proof of work so strong that there will be people wants you to hire, and you will be holding 4 or 5 offers, and yeah, and then the other good things happens.
Yeah, it's very interesting hearing about all these experiences because so like I've applied to a total of one tech job in my life, and it was Google, and it was before I started my recent company. I didn't even get to the first round of interviews with Google. Funny enough, I'm a GDE now, but, so that's kind of funny to look back on. So I've never actually gone through this process, right? Like I've never had a real tech job. I've only ever worked for startups that I've founded, right? So it's very interesting to hear about all this stuff because I haven't had this experience. I'm lucky and glad that I haven't had to have this experience, right? But it's nice to see that there are people out there like you two that are trying to find a way to make it just better overall, for sure.
I think you wasn't lucky. You basically manufactured your luck because of the work which you was doing and putting it out online and sharing with people. So that is what everyone have to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well,
I-
honestly, like just
Yeah, I was just saying. I mean, I just went back into like memory lane, and then I realized, okay, this is what I used to do. And believe me, I used to just whenever I was looking for a job, I used to like go ahead and apply on all the portal. I mean, I remember applying for hundreds of jobs every year. I mean, whenever I wanted to switch, it's not like switching the job every year, but yeah, whenever had to switch the job, go ahead and apply on all those like this portal, and I have no idea how many jobs I have applied to.
mhm.
The referral thing happened, and then of course I don't look for a job anyway, so that's a totally different thing.
You just have to raise your hand, Santosh, that hey.
Yeah, but there's one more question actually which came from when Akash was suggesting, right, asking for reference. So what you will suggest how to approach for referrals? Because of course I also get messages for referral, like messages like, I'm looking for a job, I have this much years of experience. Of course I'm going to ignore that. I mean, I'm being blunt but right now, but I don't have that energy to actually spend on that kind of message. So what is your suggestion how to approach for someone asking for referral?
So Santosh, one perfect example which recently happened with me. So there was one person who applied for an internship position at Peerlist, but seeing that he was in 12th, so I rejected him, considering that he won't be able to understand or pick up things. I think 15-20 days later, he sent a really amazing animated and proper 1 minute video uh, telling me what he can do, what are his skills, how much experience he have, what are the apps he have built, and a reference link to that, and a really good 3-4 line pitch for
Cover
himself,
letter.
that
Yeah.
yes, so I'm this and I can do these things. You can just go through this video, check my project, and if you think that you are interested, you like me, we can get on a call. I actually wanted to talk to that person, that yes, let's go ahead, let's talk to him. And I think
Yeah.
that is one of the best ways to get a referral, that showed someone that you are actually serious about something. Just messaging you that, hey, I'm looking for a job and this is the open position, please refer me, it 100% chances that you will reject him. But if someone is taking these many efforts, you will get the signal that yes, this person is really serious, I should uh, consider them to do a referral, or something like that. So that is one signal which always have worked for me.
So that shows the attitude, right? I
Yeah.
mean, and we are still in touch with that person and trying to groom him. And yeah, so there are many folks like that whom we couldn't hire, but we are still in touch with them. That someday we will come up to a position where we can hire them and work with them basically and learn from them, because that. So one more point, when that person sent the video, we just are it was mind blowing, right? And we thought, what if we have this approach while getting the intros with the investors, right? And that is what we learned from them. That is what we both learned from him, that this is the way to get the attention of those people. And then we recorded a very small pitch, investor memo, and recorded and demo of everything what we have built with Peerlist. And that actually got us a couple of leads, and we talked to those investors. And this is what happens, right? So yeah, these are some amazing experiences, like learning experiences, which we had because of these amazing people. So yeah.
That's amazing. Is there anything that you guys want to shout out or promote before we close up for this episode?
No, I mean, shout out to the people who have supported us so far and still supporting us. Honestly, uh, Peerless, whatever we have built so far, is built without money. Uh, like very honestly, we had no money to build this. We had all the conviction which we got of living our full time, good paying jobs and doing this full time. All that conviction and confidence came from the people who supported us since the beginning. And we are always like a shout out to them. We are very, very grateful to them. Including like there are so many people in the live also who have helped us since beginning, and they are still with us and will be with us forever. So yeah, shout out to them and thanks a lot for being there and supporting us. Yeah, man, to the moon, to the Mars. You never know.
Amazing. Love it. Well, Santosh, I'll pass it over to you for the closing notes for the episode.
Yeah, thanks again, everyone, for joining. Thanks again, Yogini, Akash. I mean, so much valuable lesson to learn from both of you. Being a founder, being like I know Yogini, who has been writing code, and she has been sharing her knowledge as well, which is really nice. And you both are doing amazing stuff for the community as well. I saw you also started the meetup thing in Pune. I really miss
Yes.
that. I mean, like.
Yes.
The COVID thing happened, right? I mean, good
Yeah.
thing that okay, COVID
Yeah.
happened, and then you realize that you want to build this platform. But bad thing is that we lost that 2 year, and we
Yeah.
Yeah.
couldn't connect, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, everything happens for a reason. That's what I
Yeah.
believe in. So
Thank you
thanks
for
again.
yeah, thank you for inviting us as a what we call ourselves are fresher founders, and we are also learning a lot. We are also having a lot of experiences personally. We both together personally, me and Yogini, and yeah, thank you so much for all the support, Santosh.
And love what you're both doing. I before this
Yeah,
podcast, I was just checking the YouTube channel, was going through all the episodes that you have shot, and it is amazing. You guys are doing something really great.
Thank you. Thank
It's
you.
awesome being able to meet people like you, and interview and talk every week. I've met so many people from around the world doing so many different things. So thank
And
you.
yeah, yeah,
that's actually why I started. I mean, I've been doing it from like 2 years now, and the main reason was not to actually do anything, but talk to people. And I
yeah.
have learned so much actually just talking to them. So thanks again for coming on the channel, and hope we meet soon. And
Yes,
let's see what future holds. So
absolutely.
yeah. So thank you everyone. Thank you again for joining, and we'll be back not next week. We will be back probably on 22nd. I'm traveling next week, so I'm not sure. I've not scheduled anything so far. But yeah, see you on 22nd or 29th, whatever date we have available. So bye bye.
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 Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.